You guys, it's a new month, which means it's time for a new reading vlog. Today we're going to be reading our highest and lowest rated April books according to Goodreads. We have loved doing this video the past couple of months, so we wanted to do it again today. We already went through all of our April TBR and looked at the ratings on Goodreads. We have our lowest picked out today, and that's what we're going to start with.
So my lowest rated book is You've Reached Sam by Dustin Dow, and it has a 3.63 on Goodreads with over 129,000 reviews. So I think that's pretty good. I've noticed since we started doing these types of videos, I pretty much agree with whatever the Goodreads overall rating is. So I'm hoping, I also think it's maybe a 3.6 or a 4. I've had this one on my shelf forever. This was one that was really popular very early on in our reading journey, and it's one of those where it's just crazy that I haven't read it yet. So I'm ready to read it today.
My lowest rated book for April is Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls by Lynn Wingarden. This is actually also my blind book for the month, which I think my lowest rated book last month was also my blind book. I've actually been wanting to read this book since 2016, so I'm glad I'm finally going to read it. It's going to be a YA mystery, and I'm really excited for it.
Okay, so we're going to start our books, read a little bit, see what's happening in them, and then come back and update you guys. Okay, we're back. We've read a little bit. Mine is going good so far, but man, did we just jump into it. So we're following Julie, and right away, we know that her boyfriend, Sam, has died. They were like high school sweethearts, and they had like their whole lives planned out. Like they were gonna go to college and move away, and she wanted to be an author, and he wanted to do music, and it's like they had everything planned out, and then he dies. We see her going through this. She's kind of just shutting everyone out. She doesn't want to talk to anyone. She doesn't want to go to school. Understandable. But then she's like also not attending his funeral. She's not talking to like his family, and she's close to them, and she's like throwing away his stuff. And I know everyone handles grief differently, but man, it's like really hard to read about, especially because she was really close with Sam's cousin, and she's just like shutting her out, like not even talking to her, not checking on her. And it's so sad to read about. She's missing him so much that one day she ends up calling his cell phone, and he picks up the phone, which is crazy. And then I'm thinking, okay, poor thing, it's like all in her head.
Yeah.
But it's not, because then he's like telling her, I've left you something at my house, like go look for it, and like it's there. And how do you explain that? I don't know. It's just, it's crazy. It's going really good so far. I'm just waiting to see how this is all gonna play out.
Mine's going pretty good as well. In the story, we're following a high schooler named June. She's kind of a loner, has a tough home life. She used to have this best friend named Delia, and they were super close, basically like sisters, but then something ended up happening and they had a bit of a falling out, and it's been a year since then, and Delia has been announced dead. The reports are coming out. People are saying that she locked herself in a shed and set it on fire, so it's being ruled a suicide. But June knows that Delia would never do something like this because Delia has always been terrified of fire. Because of this, June starts looking more into it. She's like wanting to figure out what actually happened. She starts poking around, realizes there might be more to the story, so she's determined to figure out what actually happened. So we're getting information of things that are happening right now, but then we also have a separate timeline of back in the past where June and Delia were best friends, and we're kind of counting down the days until they have their falling out. So we're learning what happened with their friendship while also following June right now in the present, trying to piece things together. So it's super interesting. I'm enjoying it a lot so far. I can't wait to see what actually happened. And I love YA books because they're just like such fast, easy reads. So I'm having a really good time with this.
So that is it for our first update. Now we're gonna go downstairs, make some snacks, and take our Magic Mind to keep us going.
We have talked a lot about Magic Mind here on the channel in the past, but we're so excited to now be Magic Mind ambassadors. We've had really good experiences with them, so we wanted to continue the partnership.
If you didn't know, Magic Mind are these little productivity shots filled with all natural ingredients that help boost energy and focus. We like taking them on days like today when we know we're gonna be reading for hours. We have seen a really big difference in our everyday mood and energy level, so we love taking them. if you do want to try them out, they have a really fantastic deal just for you guys.
If you guys use the link in the description and use our code, you guys can try out Magic Mind for free and get your first 3-bottle pack. Just pay the shipping fee, and you can also cancel your subscription at any time so you don't get charged after the first month. It's a really good opportunity to try out Magic Mind if you've been thinking about it, so we will leave all that information below. All that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take ours now, grab some snacks, and then get back to reading.
Okay, so we've been reading for a little bit more. This is just so sad. It is horrible. It's such a horrible thing to happen. I did forget to mention that the chapters are going back and forth between now and in the past. So we are getting to see Sam and Julie's relationship from the very beginning and how they came to be and how she became friends with his cousin and things like that. So it's really sad to just be going back and forth. Now Julie is starting to open up a little bit more. I think she feels better now that she has this connection and can talk to Sam. But she also can't tell anybody about this connection because Sam says if other people know, it can ruin the connection and they could possibly not be able to talk anymore. So she's trying to keep it to herself, but obviously it's hard because everyone is also grieving and she wants to be like, I can talk to him, I can tell him what you want to say to him. I'm surprised I'm not just sitting here crying my eyes out because normally I cry over every little thing. It's just obvious that their phone calls aren't going to last forever and we don't know when they're gonna end, but every chapter it's becoming more clear. Like now there's like static coming in and he's not as clear and he's like kind of far away. And it's also horrible because the whole school knows that he died because he went to go pick her up and he was like hanging out with all his friends at a bonfire and he left to go pick her up and he got hit by a drunk driver and it was a whole thing. So like it's like all of his friends that aren't her friends blame her and it's just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I'm ready to see how it's gonna end.
This book is fantastic so far. It's so good, and I don't know why I always act surprised, because whenever I read a YA contemporary, a YA mystery, I always love them. I just forget how much I enjoy, so I never pick them up, but I should. So much has happened already in this book, and I don't want to give away anything, but plot-wise, basically, June is still investigating herself. She's following all these different paths and just trying to figure out anything that she can. We also finally found out what happened to their friendship and how it kind of started fizzling out, so everything is finally coming together. We're painting the big picture. I cannot wait to see how they end this book. It has already took a bunch of turns that I wasn't expecting, so I'm just very excited to see the end. This is one where I have no theories, I have no predictions, I'm just here for the ride and I'm loving it.
Well, I'm glad our books are going good. I guess since they're YA, we're just flying through them. There's something about YA books that they're just so fast, they're so easy. They're honestly perfect. So we're just going to continue reading and come back and update you guys when we're done. Okay, we have finished our books. What an experience this was. I mean, I've said it so many times. It's just so sad. I do recommend this book. I think you just have to be emotionally prepared for the journey that you're about to be on. The end was just, it was really sad. It's just sad. I don't have any other word, but it is sad. I think Julie had a lot of character growth because in the beginning it was just a little crazy. I guess some of the decisions that she was making. And then towards the end, you really just understand her and she has a lot of growth from this experience. I did end up giving it a 3.75, so pretty much right there with Goodreads. I think Goodreads was like 3.6. And here I am again, pretty much just agreeing with Goodreads.
My book was incredible. It was so good. It was so good. I was not expecting it to end the way that it did. This exceeded all of my expectations for it. I'm so upset that it took me years to finally read this book. I wish I would have done it sooner. Now I want to read more books by this author. I would like to actually see this as a movie. I don't think all books need adaptations, but this one would be so fun to watch. This has re-sparked my love for YA books. Now I'm gonna want to read a lot more of them. I know that I own the book on the back that's also by this author, Bad Girls with Perfect Faces. I feel like I might have unhauled it, but if it's still in my room, I'm gonna actually read it because I loved it. I'm gonna give this a 4-star. I do not agree with Goodreads. I think it needs not only more reviews in general, I also think it should be rated higher. I loved it.
Well, I'm glad we both enjoyed our lowest rated book. Tomorrow we're going to start on our highest rated book for April, so we will see you guys then. It is day 2 and we're ready to get started, and we actually happen to have the exact same book as our highest rated book for April this month. And it is actually our Literal Besties Book Club book, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I am so excited about this. Y'all know how much I love Abby Jimenez. I have started a little bit of it already. I just couldn't wait. And it's already going really good. I feel like everyone in the chats is also really enjoying it as well. I'm ready to see what you're gonna think.
I know. This is my first Abby Jimenez book, you guys. It's been a while since I read a contemporary romance book, so I'm really excited for it. I hope this will get us in the summer mood.
It has a 4.54 on Goodreads with 25,000 ratings. So that's pretty good. This book won like by a landslide compared to all my other ones.
Me too. And I feel like it's got a lot of reviews for it recently coming out. So I've got high hopes. We're just gonna go ahead and start, and then we'll update you guys once we know a little bit more about what's going on. But I'm excited for this one. Guys, we've been reading for a little bit. I think the book is going so well already, even though we're barely in it. I just feel like from the jump it had a really good vibe, which has me excited for the rest of the book. But basically in this story we're following two people, Emma and Justin. Emma is a traveling nurse. Her and her best friend Maddie pretty much have a list of places they want to go to. So every couple of months they travel to someplace new, they start working at a new hospital, they get to explore whatever city they're in, and then they just continue with this cycle. Emma does have a complicated relationship with her mother. Her mom was pretty absent while she was growing up. She got put into the foster care system. Maddie's parents kind of acted like a foster family for her. So we're kind of getting to know a little more about how she grew up. Our other point of view, Justin, has a lot of stuff going on as well. His is a lot of like family drama. Basically something happened and he is about to take ownership of his siblings. He's going to be their legal guardian, and that's a really big change. So he's just trying to figure out how he's going to do that.
So the only thing that Emma and Justin have in common is that they both feel like they have this curse that whenever they date somebody, they end up breaking up, and that person that they broke up with ends up finding their soulmate right after they date. And so Justin makes this Reddit post about this happening to him, and Emma sees it and reaches out to Justin, basically just tells him like this exact same thing keeps happening to me, and they're just forming a little connection with that, making jokes about it and stuff. And then they come to the conclusion that maybe if they date each other, it'll cancel out and then they'll be able to find their soulmate after. And I can't imagine people just wanting to date you just so they could break up with you and be happy afterwards. Like, that is actually horrible. So right now it's really silly and cute. They're just trying to figure out the logistics of it, like how they're gonna date and how many dates they need to go on and when do they kiss, all kinds of little cute things like that. But it's really fun. I love Maddie too. She is quite the character, and Justin is great too. He's so cute and quirky.
That's pretty much all that's happened. I can't wait to see them start going on their dates and seeing their relationship form a little bit more. I've enjoyed everyone so far. Like you said, Maddie I really love. I feel like she's that best friend character that everyone prefers over our main character just because she has like the best personality. But I'm excited to see where the story goes. We're just gonna keep on reading and then we'll update you guys a little bit later. You guys, update 2. We've read a little bit more. Things are getting juicy, I feel like. We're learning about each of their families a lot more, and I think there's so many things that are just kind of messy, but it's entertaining to read about.
There's a lot of family drama in this book that I just was not expecting, but family drama is always something that I do enjoy reading about. Emma's mom is actually horrible, and it's so sad because Emma is so sweet and she just wants to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Maddie is not giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. Maddie's just like, she's very protective of Emma. She doesn't want to see Emma get hurt again. And Justin, the whole thing about having to take in all these kids and saying goodbye to his mom, it's so sad.
It's so crazy to think about. Like something you weren't expecting, and now you're gonna be responsible for all of your siblings, and they're all different ages, so it's just gonna be a lot on him.
But it's also so sweet because what a person you are to be like, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be mom, I'm gonna try and keep everything like the same for them, yet changing his whole life, really. I love him.
Relationship-wise, I think everything that we've seen has been so adorable. Every date they go on, all their conversations are so cute. Justin's like the best. Maddie keeps saying like, if anything, he does put in the effort, and I feel like that's so true. Just with like little things to make Emma laugh. Also, going into this relationship, they went about it very professionally. They even had a spreadsheet of like how many dates to go on, how long the dates need to be, how often they need to speak to each other. They definitely treated this like an actual experiment. But now of course you can see the lines are kind of blurring because they're actually getting feelings for each other. But Emma is very much just trying to be here for the experiment regardless of her feelings because of her relationship with her mother. We were talking about that you can kind of see she has commitment issues, so that I'm sure is going to play a bigger part later on. But relationship wise, I think everything about them has been really cute and like realistic.
I mean, it is really sad because Emma has this whole job of where she's somewhere different all the time. She's never in the same place. She doesn't have a lot of stuff. Everything she owns is like in a suitcase. It's just crazy to think like if her and Justin were gonna make it work, it's not only having to take in Justin, but it's also taking in all the siblings as well, and like having an entire family where you're just like locked in and there's no going anywhere.
You're locked in and you can't move anywhere because you don't want to have to uproot the entire family. So it's like,
and then she can relate to the kids, and like she doesn't want to be the woman who leaves, and oh my gosh, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I think it's such a good book so far though. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. There hasn't been a moment where I've been like rolling my eyes. I like that there's not much spice. Like we haven't gotten any of that, and you can't say that for a lot of today's romances. So I appreciate that.
We're like actually getting a connection here.
Yes.
And not just like insta lust. We do only have a third of the book left, so everything that we have been scared to read about is about to happen in this last chunk. Everything's about to go down, and I'm ready to see it go down. So let's just keep on reading.
Alright you guys, we have finished Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I can't believe we just finished our book club book.
So good.
It was so good. I'm so happy this was my first book by this author. I understand the hype. This was such a wholesome story. Not only did the characters have great chemistry, but it was believable. The relationship between them, the complications that happened, like felt so realistic and relatable. And I love it when books feel like that. The only other time I felt like that is with an Emily Henry book when we read The Happy Place. But I just appreciate that all the characters had depth. Even though all of their family drama was like really messy, it was also raw at the same time. So I just really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it was really good. And the ending, the whole thing with Emma's mom was actually crazy. I don't know, it was all really cute. The end was perfect. It was just, it was so cute. I love family drama, but I also loved found family, and I feel like we got a little bit of both. I also loved the little cameos of all the characters in the book. That was so much fun just to get to see those people again. It's definitely one of my favorite Abby Jimenez books, but then every time I read an Abby Jimenez book, I'm like, this is my favorite. So I don't know. Abby Jimenez can do no wrong. I love her.
I think I'm gonna give it like a 4-star. I really loved it.
I also think I'm gonna give it a 4, maybe 4.5, not sure, but I think Goodreads is right.
I can't wait to see what everyone else in the book club thinks about it. If you guys haven't joined yet, please do. We'll leave that link in the description. I feel like overall it's been a good 2 days of reading. Reminder, if you want to try out Magic Mind, we will have that link and code in the description. You could get your first pack for free. Just pay shipping, so I think that's a pretty good deal. We'll also leave the book club information in the description along with all of our social media. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next time.